Hello and welcome to KWM Wine Towers for a tasting of Chateau Sainte Cecile Rouge from the Costière de Nîmes 2016. So Costière de Nîmes in the south of France, a little bit sort of to the west, sort of south and west of the Rhone Valley essentially. So pretty close to the Rhone Valley, and it uses a lot of those similar grape varieties as well. So Syrah, Grenache, Mourvèdre. This is exactly what this is. It's a blend of 45% Syrah, 45% Mourvèdre, and 10% Grenache. So classic Southern Rhone blend. You always often describe these as sort of Chateau blends. So this is probably more Syrah and Mourvèdre than you typically find in Chateau. So a lot of Chateau would be more Grenache dominant, for example, but they vary a lot. So you can get all sorts of combinations. So as a rule of thumb, it's a good sort of visualization, I guess, to think Chateau in these sort of styles. But they have their own sort of little sort of idiosyncrasies and sort of uniqueness to them, I suppose, in terms of their terroir and where they come from. Again, like say Chateau with their galettes, with their sort of pudding stones. This particular vineyard that this comes from has the same sort of idea, those pudding stones, and what those are really about, those big round pebbles that you get in the soils, as opposed to just being dirt, I suppose, is they radiate a lot of heat back into the grapes overnight. So basically during the day, the sun is ripening the grapes, it is heating the stones. As the sun goes down, those stones are still warm and it radiates heat back. So if the nights cool down, it's just building more sort of structure and tannin into the actual wines. So this here is hand harvested. It spends about a year in 400 litre French oak barrels. So those are slightly bigger than normal. So for a year, after fermentation, which is all temperature controlled, of course, as every winemaker would do. They like to make these things like, oh, they're all temperature controlled and fermentation. Well, of course they are. Any modern winemaker does that nowadays. And the temperature you sort of make those wines at can vary a little bit, I suppose, but usually reds mid 20 degrees, whites sub 20 sort of thing. That's what usually be. This is maybe slightly warmer, around 25 degrees, 28 degrees fermentation temperatures. So that helps to bring out a bit of the extraction of the skins, tannins out as well. But it's all done in a very controlled manner, and then it goes into malolactic fermentation and then spends a year in oak barrels, which gives it a nice sort of complexity and roundness. So we'll take a look at this colour-wise. So say Sainte Cecile Rouge is the top wine of the property, and it's a property that has had vines on it for hundreds and hundreds of years. Settled away back in the middle sort of 5th or 6th century or something like that. Coming from 35-year-old vines as well, so the vines get a little bit of age on them too. 2016 vintage, and it's 14.5% I just see, so there's a bit of alcohol to this too. So medium weight, it's got a nice sort of bricky, garnety sort of edge to it. So nice lifted aromatics. And nicely sort of get that waft of sort of red fruit, sort of raspberry sort of note, then goes into sort of black fruits, blackberries, plums. A little bit of graphite going on in this as well. I think that must be the Syrah element coming through. A little bit of sort of herby nuances, and sometimes you get that with those wines from the south of France as well, around that sort of Languedoc and Provence. You get those garrigues. If you ever have a chance to go there and travel through vineyards or walk the sort of back roads, I guess, you can get sometimes these real wafts of wild garlic and that going on, and rosemary and things like that, lavender. It's fantastic smells around the area. Oh, it smells lovely. You can get the Grenache element coming through in there as that sort of soft red fruit, slightly toffee note. Very nice. Anyway, it's got a bit of structure to this. There's a wine just by the tannins on it at this point will be more for food. So if you're going to, next time you're having like a steak or something like that, bit of pepper sauce, you get that spice on the finish. This should fit quite well. Nice bit of freshness to the acidity there, and I've finished it off with nice those fruity, juicy flavours to it as well. But it's a wine with quite a bit of structure at this point. It's a food wine now, bit of cheese, but keep for maybe 3 to 5 years. Really nice bottle of wine from that really southern part of France. Classic southern French blend of Syrah, Mourvedre and Grenache. And it's a nice sort of cheaper alternative, I guess, to your Chateau pops and things like that. So, well worth a look. I really like that bottle of wine, I must say. Chateau L'Hermitage, Costière de Nîmes, so the Sainte Cecile, their top wine. Yeah, so have a go, try it, don't be disappointed. KWMWine.com, place where taste matters. Cheers.